Hello, everybody. It's the Film Optimist, and today I'm talking about an All Dogs Christmas Carol because I think I maybe mentioned it in the last Film Optimist review. After All Dogs Go to Heaven 2, they're like, oh, let's just fucking take this fucking franchise and milk it for all that's worth. It shouldn't be a franchise, but fuck it, let's just go for it. So they made the series, and then they made an All Dogs Christmas Carol. This was the finale basically of that series, acted as a finale of sorts. And what a way to end a show with a fucking story that's been retold millions and millions of times. Fucking Christmas Carol. Do you know the story? It's fucking Scrooge McDuck. It's Ebenezer Scrooge, and he's a fucking asshole, and he hates Christmas. And then he's like, fuck you, Christmas. And then he's visited by the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future. And they scare him into liking Christmas because Christmas is all about family and all this other shit, and it's not this consumerist holiday um, that it actually is. That's what every Christmas thing is all about. It's like, oh fuck this, it's about love and family, which it should be about, but a lot of people I'm not going to get into that debate right now. It's not really a debate. It's a fact. Anyway, All Dogs Christmas Carol follows Carface and Charlie and Itchy, and I don't know who the fucking third person is, are like, we're gonna fucking scare Carface into liking Christmas, right? Is this the thing? So it opens with the angel puppies talking to Annabelle. They ask her to tell her story. She begins telling about how Carface saved Christmas with a little guidance from Charlie and Itchy. Um, so they're in an alleyway. They're decorating for a Christmas party. Yeah, they're supposed to fucking help. Uh, yeah, they're decorating for a Christmas party. They're trying to, and then Carface shows up. He's like, "Fuck you guys!" He arrives and starts collecting debts from everyone. So I guess Carface, he doesn't go to hell in the second one, like he does. Does he? And he escapes somehow. I mean, so there's a lot of context we're missing because we haven't watched the series. Carface was like a recurring antagonist with that show, which makes sense. In the first film, he fucking killed Charlie. So I mean, that's pretty antagonistic. Um, but they've turned Carface into a real pussy, and now he's back to being a gambler, and fucking like, you owe me money. So he's trying to get money from everybody. He's the perfect. This version of Carface is the perfect fit for the Ebenezer Scrooge character. So he's like, fuck you guys, and fuck Christmas and all this other shit. Who are the ghosts of Christmas past and present and future? There are Sasha helps out too from the second movie, Charlie's love interest. They're gonna scare the Dickens out of him, which is a reference to Charles Dickens, who wrote A Christmas Carol, I believe, right? I hope that was right. Itchy becomes a ghost of Christmas past, Sasha becomes a ghost of Christmas present, and Charlie is the ghost of Christmas future, as a reference of the mask. What? So he's like the mask, basically, from the Jim Carrey film with the same name. And Belladonna, yes, okay, so and they have to help Timmy, who's like a little puppy who's going to die. Like little Timmy from the story. But there's there's Belladonna, Annabelle's demonic cousin, um, who looks a lot fucking like her. I remember, and they have to stop Belladonna. Carface is working for Belladonna at first, so she's like just like Annabelle. They look very similar, except she's the evil Annabelle. Belladonna is, and Carface has a change of heart in the end, and they win. And oh, Mary, God blesses everyone in the end. As one dimensional, I guess, as this film is. I mean, it's just like the fucking every Christmas Carol thing ever. It's a timeless classic. So of course everybody fucking rips it off, and it gets to the point where it's like, okay, what is the point? What are we doing here? That being said, this was good. This was good. The because at the time when I was going to watch this and review it, I was like, is there? why the fuck is this movie? And I guess I should watch it because it is a sequel. Technically, it's the third in the trilogy of the movies. So I'm like, should I should I really watch this one? And I was still at that point not into the second one at all. I still hold that this shouldn't have been a franchise. These films should not exist, even with my like lackluster opinion of the first one now, how much it's dropped. But this was a good like finale. And on a high note, Carface is finally a good guy. I mean, this version of Carface should be a good guy. Um, Real fucking redemption story. I mean, he killed Charlie in the first. He killed Charlie. He was a badass antagonist, and in the second movie, it's like, oh, he's an idiot. It's like that's not. I don't know if I talked about that in my All Dogs Go to Heaven sequel review, but yeah, I was really upset when they made Carface like Ernest Borgnine, great voice actor, but and they replaced Charlie Sheen. Of course, Charlie Sheen's not gonna do a fucking TV show, animated TV series. I mean, he might have. Don't quote me on that. I guess. Steven Weber. I don't know. I guess he was an iZombie and Wings. He was the voice of Charlie B. Barkin in the series and in this film. But like I said, good way to end it. It's really weird when like a show ends on a like on a movie, like that's the finale. It's a film that you can watch outside of the series. Like you can just pick it up and be like, oh, cool, I can watch this movie because it leaves a lot of leaves you with a lot of questions. Not too many questions. Like the only question I really had with this film is like, is Carface like how is Carface back? And how is this all like this Belladonna? Is she a recurring character in the series? I mean, I could just Google this shit. I probably should review the series eventually whenever I do that. I probably will, to be honest with you. Because the second and third films really aren't they're not that bad. They just shouldn't exist. That's my biggest like pet peeve with them is they should not exist. But that's my review of All Dogs Christmas Carol. It's a good one. It's a shocker, but you guys have a wonderful day. I'm trying to block like the window from like blinding you guys. So thank you, and yeah, I can have more like personal, reviews and stuff. So you guys have a good one and have a wonderful life.